building a six-figure beat selling business from scratch. This is going to be a phenomenal lesson series where we're going to walk you through building a six-figure beat selling business, but not just theory. You're going to watch me build one from scratch, starting from the planning stages all the way to the execution, to the selling. Everything you're going to see, we're going to log, catalog, record, and you can follow along and you can apply it to your own beat selling business. And the reason why it's phenomenal this way is because it's no longer theory. It's no longer hearing about it and getting stuck. You're watching me do it. That means the same challenges that you have, the same things that you run into, I'm going to run into building this thing, and you're going to be able to see how I overcome it in terms of getting traffic, in terms of getting customers, consistent customers, all those things. You're going to see how to do it from scratch, and you can follow along and build your beat selling business the same way. Now, here's what to expect. You're going to watch me build a six-figure beat selling business starting from scratch. And we're going to start with the foundational stuff. So I'm not going to skip ahead into, getting traffic or sales. We're going to start from the very beginning, and I want you to follow along in your music production business and start from the very beginning, because a lot of times the foundational stuff is where we go wrong. And if you don't have a solid foundation, and we'll talk about what that is in the different lessons, but if you don't have a solid foundation, what's going to happen is you're going to build your music production business, but it may not never get to that next level because certain things that you didn't take care of from the beginning, that you didn't address, makes it harder to actually build your business in the future. And you'll see exactly what I'm talking about as we go further along in the lesson and you start watching me build this business. You're going to apply what you learn to your music production business as you follow along. So, the goal of this is not just to, you be a spectator. It's like, hey, you're going to see me do stuff that you're not doing, and I want you to apply the same things to your music production business. So it's going to be awesome because this is bringing it to life for probably the first time in history. I've never seen anybody actually, build a business on video so you can see how it's done. So I think that's awesome. And I don't want you to skip any of the steps because they're all critical to your success. A lot of times, I find this with business people in general, but producers as well. You feel like, well, I don't really need this. I don't need to know this, or I don't need to do that. The truth of the matter is, it's sometimes we don't know what it is that we need to do. We don't know what it is that we're missing. So if you follow everything, all the steps, then you know that you have all the bases covered, and you'll guarantee success. If you skip some of the steps, you'll be like, well, I don't see how that applies. Then what ends up happening is it may lead to roadblocks down the road, or not being able to get to that next level down the road because of something you skipped in the beginning. So everything we're going to be doing has a purpose and it fits. So you have to be very careful that you don't try to skip steps. Now here are the lessons that we're going to cover in this lesson series, and that you're going to follow along with building the beat selling business to six figures. And we're going to start from scratch, just like you may be starting from scratch. So here's what you're going to learn in this series. First, we're going to do the foundation. So whenever I start any type of business, any type of beat business, I always start with the foundation. We're going to do the setup all the way from picking a name and the niche and everything, the type of beats, the planning. We're going to create a real plan. You can't start a successful business with no plan. So I'm going to show you. You're going to see exactly how I plan. You're going to see the planning sheets. It's going to be open document where you can see it yourself. You can download those documents, and and you're going to be able to see the plans. It's not going to be a secret. And visioning, what's the vision for my music production business? You're going to be able to see as I create that, and the questions that I ask myself and put it on paper, how we have a vision for this music production business. We're not just starting online trying to sell beats. We're starting with we're creating a real company that's going to, really do something and be successful. And my goal would actually be get it to $1 million, be $1 million beat selling business. But, we're going to just say six figures just to make it comfortable for the producers to see that it's possible. But in my vision, it's going to be a multi-million-dollar music production business. The strategy. Then we're going to get into specific strategies, right? How do I do my beat research? And to know what type of beats you're going to sell, we're going to make. It's very powerful stuff. Our traffic sources, where we're going to get, go see, where we get traffic from, and, the process of buying traffic, on doing advertisement, even the free traffic, creating follow-up campaigns. How do I create my follow-up campaigns for the artists, and et cetera, et cetera. You're going to see all this stuff, and you're going to see it working in real time. And then you're going to see the sales. How do we track the sales? How do we tweak what's going on. Let's say if something's not converting, you're going to see the advertising, the pages, the sales pages. You're going to see, us getting customers. What does that look like? How do we sell? And so on and so forth. So you're going to see all of that in this lesson series. And you're going to see the results. You're going to see real-time results on what's getting results and what's working, what's not working. So, when you're doing a business, nothing is 100%. So sometimes we may try an ad, it doesn't work. And then we come back and we tweak it. And so you're going to be able to see what's working, see what the results are, not just getting the theory, but you're going to see, like, before you try it, like, okay, this worked for us. And so these are the lessons that you're going to get watching this series unfold. Now, it's not something you're going to get at one time. It's over time. You're going to get these lessons. And you're going to watch this beat selling business be created from scratch all the way up until it gets to 6 figures and beyond. So here's how we're going to deliver it. This is an ongoing series that we just talked about, that will continue to release upcoming lessons. So the lessons are going to be over time because we're building it. So it's not like we can build a 6-figure music production business in one day. So as a part of the membership, you're always going to be getting these lessons each week, new lessons that we complete that are showing you the music production business and where we're at and what's going on. So this is a great lesson series. You don't want to miss this. To get the most out of this series, though, be sure to follow along, apply, and be sure to execute, not just learn. And so that's very important. As you follow along, I don't want you just to learn this so you can repeat it. I want you to execute. I want you to stop. When you see me do something in my music production business that works, I want you to go and do it. Copy it in your own way and execute it. Because if you execute it, that's how you're going to get the results. Just learning it, that's good. That's the first step. The next step is for you to apply it. So this is going to be a great, great series for you. I promise you that this is going to be a phenomenal series. And you're going to really, really get more value out of this than probably anything that you've ever done in your life, to be honest with you. So here's the conclusion. Even if something in the lesson seems basic, don't skip it. We have a tendency as human beings to look for the complex. We'll be like, oh, that's basic stuff. That doesn't matter. No, everything that we do is going to matter. It's going to lead to success. So some stuff, like I said, it may seem basic. You may feel like I'm more advanced than that. Don't skip it, because it may be a nugget in there that you didn't know, or you didn't apply because you weren't aware of how important it was. And sometimes the basic foundation, it's like building a house, man. The foundation has to be right. Otherwise, you'll run into problems down the road. So it may not seem on the surface, you can't see how it's going to cause problems for you and how it can get you stuck. But it's like building a house, but you get to doing certain things. You go, oh, we already halfway built the house and now we're stuck. We got to tear it down again because we didn't have the foundation properly. So that's what we're doing with this, is making sure the foundation is right. And then you'll see that I don't skip steps because they seem basic. Okay. Here's the thing. You can always go back to the bare bones, no matter where you are in your beat selling business, and improve on the foundation. That's another misnomer. It's like, even if you're making $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month in beat sales, you can always go back to the foundation and see, okay, because generally as we grow, we move further and further away from what got us successful in the first place. Those seed ideas, those seed things, those core things that really, when we were trying to get our first couple sales and it started to grow, then as we start to grow, we generally start to move away from those things because there's more things for us to do. Right now we have customers and customer service and clients and beats, and all these things, and we may move away from the basics. So this is great if you already even have something rolling, to get back to the basics, because when you get back to the basics, a lot of times it lets you see how to expand even further, because you may be stuck at $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, and you have to get back to what was getting you customers in the first place, right? Because you kind of may have lost your way a little bit. So this is great stuff. Lastly but not least, execute. We just talked about that. Results follow execution, not from learning. So knowledge plus execution equal power. Okay, so I'll say it again. Knowledge plus execution equal power. All right. So you have to understand that if you don't execute it, you're not going to get the results. A lot of time we've heard in our society, knowledge is power, because mostly that's, they want you to go buy, college degrees or whatever. So they tell you just the knowledge is enough, right? But it's not. It's when you execute on that knowledge that you get, that's where you're going to see real life results and physical and tangible manifestations of what you've been dreaming about once you execute. So you're going to need to learn, don't get me wrong, because any fool that just execute without learning nothing, you're going to have a long, hard life, because you're going to be doing a lot of work, you're going to be doing a lot of effort, you're going to be tired, frustrated, and you're still going to be doing the same things, not getting results. So go through this series, and I'm telling you, it's going to be one of the best things you ever done. It's going to be like $1 million education, and all for just being in this membership. So it's a blessing. Follow along in these series. Watch for the new videos that are coming in the series, and trust me, you're gonna see a big change if you apply what it is that you're gonna learn in this.